before they destroy our collective national heritage, so we can have the Nigeria of our dreams, where there will be light at all times. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA.
I, Adam Abaro, do swear that I will well and truly execute the function of the office of the President of the Republic of the Gambia.
Adam Abaro steps in for Gambia's democracy.
Well, the president is going to rest. You know that God did the work of creation for 6 days, and on the 7th day, he rested. So if God needed to rest, how much more human beings?
Time for rest ahead of more work. Power supply changed yesterday and tomorrow. Plus, advocacy for mother and child wins a big one. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ronke Kolawole. President Muhammadu Buhari has left Abuja for London as part of his annual vacation. Status correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari's vacation has already been communicated to the National Assembly in line with Section 145, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. But before his departure at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, the president held a closed-door meeting with the service chiefs led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Abayomi Olonishakin.
The meeting was to give Mr. President updates on our operations within and outside the country. Especially our involvement in ECOWAS standby force that is being inducted into the Senegal, so that in issue of their mandate, or ensuring that the president-elect of the Gambia is sworn in.
What is the operational mandate in Gambia, sir?
The operational mandate in Gambia is in line with the decision of the heads of government, head of state and government of the ECOWAS region. Decided that the ECOWAS standby force should be put in place to ensure that the decision of the people of the Gambia is respected.
They didn't give any further directives to you?
To me, as the head of the military, is to ensure that everything is in order, that's all. And to make sure that the situation is handled appropriately.
While in the United Kingdom, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to undergo routine medical checkups, on which he told NTA News that there's absolutely nothing to worry about.
What's wrong with going on vacation? Didn't I go last year at the same time?
Presidential spokesman Femi Adesina corroborated this.
Well, the president is going to rest. You know that God did the work of creation for 6 days, and on the 7th day, he rested. So if God needed to rest, how much more human beings? So the president is just going to rest. And the statement we have released is straightforward. He will go on this leave, and during the leave, he will do routine medical checkups.
So is there anything to worry about?
No, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But we need to show goodwill towards our leaders, particularly President Muhammadu Buhari, who is working to give Nigeria a new footing, a new orientation. Nothing absolutely to worry about, but a lot of goodwill, a lot of prayers are necessary at all times.
The president, who was seen off at the airport by the Minister of FCT, Muhammad Musa Bello, Justice Minister Abubakar Malami, his Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari, and the service chiefs, is expected to resume work on the 6th of next month. Before then, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo performs the functions of the Office of the President. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Thursday's Senate plenary commenced with acknowledgement of receipt of President Muhammadu Buhari's vacation letter. Senate President Bukola Saraki read the letter in which it was stated that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will be acting during the 10 days President Buhari is on working vacation.
I wish to inform the distinguished Senate that I will be away on a 10-working day short vacation as part of my 2017 annual leave from Monday the 23rd of January to Monday the 6th of February 2017. And while I'm away, the Vice President will perform the functions of my office. Please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
And now to other news. Adama Barrow has been sworn in as the Gambia's third president at the country's embassy in Dakar, Senegal. This is as Yahya Jammeh refused to step down as president after losing at the December 1 polls. Chimdima Undubusi has that report.
Taking the oath of office, 52-year-old Adama Barrow of the United Democratic Party pledged to uphold the Constitution of the Gambia and carry out constitutional and legal reforms.
That I will well and truly execute the functions of the office. Execute the function of the office. Of the President of the Republic of the Gambia. Of the office of the President of the Republic of the Gambia. That I will preserve and defend the Constitution. That I will preserve and defend the Constitution.
He called on the military to return to the barracks and remain loyal to the Constitution and the presidency. President Barrow also said that there is no loser, urging all citizens to come together.
For hosting hospitality accorded to me and my delegation at the request of ECOWAS chair. This is what it means to be part of a community of democratic nations.
Already, West African troops have entered the Gambia and said they did not meet any resistance. The streets were also said to be deserted and everywhere calm. At the time of this report, the United Nations Security Council was continuing discussions on the political situation in that country. Meanwhile, Botswana has announced that it no longer recognizes Yahya Jammeh as the president, becoming the first African country to do so. Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
Still on the Gambia, guests on Good Morning Nigeria condemned Yahya Jammeh's reluctance to relinquish power because it is a threat to peace, urging him to willingly let go. Gufan Shaji tells us more.
And the UN, ECOWAS and the African Union's commitment to ensuring a new era for Gambia. Discoursing say Yahya Jammeh's actions have pitched him against the rest of the world. The guests described Jammeh as a bad student of history.
I'm happy that the unanimity, ECOWAS decisions were very decisive. The AU that had in the past played a sort of delaying role came spontaneously to say that come today, Barrow will be recognized.
This development is a fact that a clear message is being sent, around the continent, that once an election has been held and is adjudged to be free and fair, that the president, the incumbent president, should, as a gentleman as a man of honor and integrity, simply hand over power.
Yahya Jammeh was trying to test the resolve and the commitment of ECOWAS, and he has seen that they are really committed. And the will of the Gambian people will be upheld, which they freely expressed in the elections they held.
The Chief of Army Staff has indicated that his army would not fire a bullet in defense of Yahya Jammeh if he refuses to leave.
Guests, however, advised Jammeh to put the interest of the Gambia first by relinquishing power and allow the democratic process take its course.
The climate has changed now. The international community has accepted democracy as the only way out.
In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
Also, leadership of the Alumni Association of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies has commended the leadership role of the Nigerian government within the West African sub-region to enthrone good governance and democracy. The president of the association, Major General Lawrence Onoja, spoke to Adebola Brooks on Sunday.
The president has taken the bull by the horn. He's called meetings severally. He's gone there to make personal contact with Yahya Jammeh. And we are hoping that his trips, his efforts that Nigeria is making will yield dividends by ensuring that democracy is effected in the place and that Yahya Jammeh lives according to the verdicts of his people.
The Nigerian military, as the institute was conceived to serve as the nation's foremost policy think tank. The Nigerian military has sent its contingents as part of the ECOWAS standby force for deployment in the Gambia. A statement from the Ministry of Defense, signed by Brigadier General Mohammed Sani Ahmed, says the aim is to implement the decision of ECOWAS leaders in upholding the result of the presidential election of December 1, 2016. The statement adds that the development is due to failed efforts to resolve the political impasse there, with Yahya Jammeh refusing to relinquish power. At the ongoing World Economic Forum in Davos, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo discussed with the private sector to stress that their leadership and partnership is important to achieving the diversification plans of the Buhari administration. It was at a session with the business community on the economic situation of the country, as reported by Jide Onifade.
Speaking at a forum with some businessmen and women on the economic situation of the country, the Vice President says so much has been done and more are on in revamping the economy. Government actions, he explains, have opened doors of opportunity in agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and other sectors, while not relenting in efforts to boosting oil production to generate necessary funding of infrastructure.
That partnership is crucial to practically everything that I'll be saying. It's crucial to our plans on economic diversification. It's crucial to all our plans on macroeconomic stability. It's crucial even to our social investment plans, which are, which we think is a very bold plan.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo also featured in a one-on-one interview session where he further highlighted federal government actions on economy, security, and diversification. The Vice President equally participated in a televised session alongside some African leaders on rebuilding Africa, where he expressed the effective cooperation of leaders on the continent as demonstrated in the war against Boko Haram. Further highlighted the need to pay more attention on the training of youth for a greater Africa.
Nigeria is obviously the primary investment hub, the primary investment destination for Africa, no question at all. I mean, everything in Nigeria speaks to that. Our problems at the moment, foreign exchange problems and all of those are clearly surmountable. And every smart investor has already seen that. They already know that. And that's the reason why there's such a bullishness about investing in Nigeria. They've seen that these are not very significant issues. We can deal with the issues.
Minister of Water Resources and that of Industry, Trade and Investment are part of the Nigerian delegation.
Nigeria, we have told the world what we are trying to do to get out of recession and moving forward. And there's no better place to do that than here. And a lot of progress has been made, and there's reason for optimism.
Although the country is in the cold with its economy, but taking steps critical to moving the people out of poverty into a land of opportunities and peace is what this government says it has committed itself to. From Davos in Switzerland, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And now to the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives has passed a second reading a bill for an act to make it mandatory for government ministries, departments and agencies to give priority to local manufacturers in the procurement of goods and services. The House also, at Thursday's plenary, received a communication from President Muhammadu Buhari notifying the legislature of his intention to commence a 10-day working vacation from Monday 23rd of January to Monday 6th of February as part of his 2017 annual leave. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
In line with the campaign of the federal government on Made in Nigerian Goods, launched in 2016 as part of measures to promote indigenous production and conserve foreign exchange, members of the House of Representatives passed at second reading a bill for an act to mandate ministries, departments and agencies to patronize locally made products. The bill is sponsored by Deputy House Leader Buba Jibrin.
The current procurement process is not favorable towards locally manufactured materials.
This is a good bill that is going to create employment. We start eating the food that we grow. A mere expression of opinion. If there is no legislation to back it up,
the local manufacturers to make sure they also come up to the international standard.
This bill will help us to walk the talk, and Nigerians are always good at borrowing ideas.
Members adopted a motion to investigate the alleged 100 billion naira released by the Central Bank of Nigeria for the construction of mini ranches across Nigeria, moved by Representative Karimi Sunday from Kogi State, and another motion by Representative Sajo Sogun from Edo State for the establishment of a crèche in all government offices. A bill for an act to establish the National Agency for Albinism and Hypopigmentation was passed at second reading, sponsored by Representative Linus Okorie from Ebonyi State.
A circumstance where we have more albinos than in some other East African countries.
It's the most joyous day in our lives, in the fact that this is a bill that we've been brooding.
Speaker Yakubu Dogara met with a delegation of the National Union of Local Government Employees, where he explained that only the autonomy of local government councils can guarantee grassroots development.
Where we will attract even higher qualifications, people who are more qualified into local government administration.
The speaker granted audience to the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, where he urged the Chinese government to give Nigeria value for the robust bilateral relations that exist between the two countries. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
A high-powered federal government delegation led by the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, visited Borno State to condole with the people and government of the state over the accidental bombing of an IDP camp. Anthony Forsin reports.
The federal government delegation had the Minister of Defense, Mansour Dan Ali, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, and other top military officers. At the State Government House in Maiduguri, the Chief of Staff to the President told the Governor that the federal government is deeply touched by the incident, which he described as unfortunate.
The President deeply regrets this incident and is sure that all Nigerians will join him in condoling the families of those who lost their lives, and that the government of the Federation of Nigeria and the Borno State government will do all they can to treat those injured, and the armed forces will take extra care that this kind of disaster does not happen again.
Responding, Governor Kashim Shettima said Borno State is honored by the show of concern by the federal government and the military, their determination to return Borno back to its former state.
We are most grateful to the federal government for the support. And for us in Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe, we do not enjoy the luxury we can't enjoy the luxury of insulting the federal government or President Muhammadu Buhari, because we were facing real existential threats. 3 years ago, Maiduguri was effectively encircled. You can't go beyond Ngom along Maiduguri-Dikwa Road.
At the Shehu of Dikwa's palace, the delegation told the traditional ruler that President Muhammadu Buhari has directed that the military must ensure that they exhibit a high sense of caution during operations. The Shehu of Dikwa, Shehu Mohammed El Kanami II, expressed appreciation to the federal government, saying their visit has rekindled their hope in the federal government and they will remain indebted. The delegation also visited the office of the United Nations Humanitarian Agency, where they expressed sadness over the incident. The Abakari-led federal government delegation was at the Maiduguri Specialist Hospital, where the injured are being treated. Anthony Forson, NTA News.
More rural electrification projects will be undertaken this year to ensure steady power supply across the country. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Rajifashola, gave this indication during a review of the 2016 power sector and policy direction in 2017. KG Busari Ahmed reports.
The minister, who said new power projects are ongoing across the country, submitted that for an effective power generation and distribution in the country, there is the need for proper demographics and planning.
We expect to see more metering. We expect to see more audit of discos to see what their books look like, to see what we can do with them, for them, and sometimes against them.
He added that with the new policy direction, there will be more sanctions on energy debt, while new electricity grid will continue to evolve. Some participants at the review expressed optimism.
Listening to him today, he seemed to know exactly where he wants to go, but we really want him to please come on out.
We have all that it takes to get power, and power now is not just from the national grid. You have gas, you have hydro, you have solar. All of these can add to the national grid to allow our people, even in the most rural of areas, to have electricity 24/7.
With the 2016 power sector review and the policy direction in 2017 by the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, there is every indication that Nigerians are about having the best of deals in terms of power supply, especially in the rural areas. KG Busari Ahmed, NTA News.
To America now. In less than 24 hours, Donald Trump will be inaugurated president of the United States after defeating the Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton in last November's phenomenal election. In this special report, correspondent Gabriel Odu takes a look at the Trump presidency and what is the need for Africa.
Running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
With that campaign slogan, Donald Trump maintained and sustained his lead throughout the electioneering process.
I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you.
That also underscores the philosophy of his victory: American interests first, before anything else. Who then is Donald Trump? Born June 14, 1946, Donald Trump is an American businessman, television personality, and real estate developer, but less known in American politics. As he takes oath of office Friday, what are the stakes for Africa, and in particular Nigeria?
No one has a right to immigrate to this country. It is the job of a responsible government to admit only those who expect to succeed and flourish here and really be proud of what they've done and where they came from, and they have to love our country.
Former Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bulos Lolo comments.
What to expect from his presidency will all depend on what Trump finds on the table and during his tenure. Africa is in the backwaters of his mind.
on the fundamentals of U.S.-Nigeria relations, encapsulated in the economy, international trade, security, and foreign policy. Ambassador Lolo says not much will change.
The general fundamentals may remain the same, but there'll be a change in nuance. There'll also be a change in personalities, given that it is a Republican government that is coming into office.
Foreign policy experts say Donald Trump may likely be an unconventional president who basically is asking Africa to look inwards and to make the best use of global supply chain, human resource development, and competencies. Donald Trump will on Friday become the United States 45th president. In Abuja, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
And now to other national issues. The wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, hosted the co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Mrs. Melinda Gates, on an advocacy of improving lives of women and children in Nigeria. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir has details.
It was in September 2016, the wife of the president met with the co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in New York as part of her advocacy initiative and health promotion of women and children in Nigeria. This meeting provided a platform to continue with the earlier discussion in an effort to promoting issues relating to the health and welfare of women and children. Mrs. Buhari told Melinda Gates that since inception of this administration, Future Assured has touched the lives of women and children across the length and breadth of this country in collaboration with the state governors' wives.
I want to sincerely thank you and your husband for the enormous program being implemented by your foundation in an effort to make the world a better place.
The Melinda French Gates, who is visiting Nigeria for the first time, promised the wife of the president her full support in realizing her vision in an effort to make the world a better place.
What you're doing with the Future Assured program is really showing the way, showing the difference. In every one of those lives that you see who are touched by one of these programs, it really does change their lives. And I've come to believe so strongly in the power of women and girls, because if we empower a young girl, she becomes a woman later.
The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewole, Chairman, Senate Committee on Health, Larry Tojoshu, the governor's wives, and other speakers who described the meeting as fruitful, promised to remain steadfast in supporting the wife of the president in improving the health status of women and children in Nigeria.
As wives of the governor, work with the Future Assured initiative of Her Excellency. We follow her lead, and we work in line with the national and international policies.
The wife of the president reaffirmed her commitment to continue to mobilize resources and support from across the globe to improve the lives of women and children in Nigeria. From the State House, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Information Minister talks with broadcasting organizations umbrella on digitization when we return.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Welcome, sir.
Hey, Auntie, well done. Rice and stew day, correct. I beg, give me one plate. No put meat or fish, oh. Just make them 200 naira only. Sister, no vex, oh. Nah, only 200 naira I get, oh.
Relax, sir. Enjoy your meal.
No worry, Oga. This one a bonus, on top bonus, just like the kind bonus where you dey get when you buy Etisalat.
Buy your Etisalat SIM today. Recharge 200 naira and get 1,400 naira instant. Not forget, say all your other recharges go still they give you 250% bonus. Oh
boy, show sharp. No, I will pass this one, oh.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Hello?
Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Gioni M6, carry out everything on that list. Starting now. Get to the door. Congratulations, you have passed the test. Gioni M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge. Gioni M6, always in power.
Public announcement. The National Judicial Council wishes to inform the general public and all the staff of the Federal Judiciary that retired between the 1st of January 2014 and 31st December 2016 that the Council has remitted their accrued pension rights to their various pension fund administrators. Therefore, the affected retired officers are advised to contact their respective pension fund administrators for payment of their retirement benefits. Signed, Management, National Judicial Council.
The chairman, members of committee, and Muslim Ummah of Abu Bakr Sadiq Mosque invites you to the opening of an ultra-modern Jumat mosque situated at the South Street, Uwuse, Zone 6, Abuja. The Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, will lead the Jumat prayer. Senator Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki of Ilorin, and the Senate President will be the special guest of honor to be assisted by Aminu Tambol Matawallan Sokoto, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, and Alhaji Aminu Masari, the Executive Governor of Katsina State. Chief host will be the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Muhammadu Musa Bello. Renowned Islamic scholar, Al-Rama Ahmad Ibrahim Suleiman, will commence the program with recitation of the Holy Quran from 9 a.m. in the morning. Other Islamic ulama will deliver special lecture and goodwill messages. Jumat prayer starts at 1 p.m. prompt. Date will be Friday, the 20th of January, 2017.
The Future Assured project and its components Get Involved, initiated by the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is not relenting in championing the cause of Nigerian women and children. Its provision of free medical screening, educational support, and the fight against malnutrition, especially in the Northeast, has indeed informed international recognition, partnerships, and awards.
We are very grateful and appreciative for your wonderful gesture you have accorded to us.
With Future Assured, Nigerian women and children are assured of a bright future.
Future is assured when we join hands to promote the health of our women and children. Get involved.
Get involved and support the Future Assured initiative. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Okay, sir. You may now go in for your interview.
Thank you. Ah, my shoe. And to think I just bought this very expensive foreign shoe 2 months ago.
So sorry about your shoes. This is why I advise my friends to always patronize made in Nigeria products. See this shoe. It's made in Nigeria, and I've had it for 2 years, and it's still as good as the day I bought it.
Made in Nigeria products are good quality, and stringent government regulations and certification now mean the goods made in Nigeria meet international standards. Make the patriotic choice today. Buy right. Buy Made in Nigeria.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Now to the second part of our bulletin. As countdown to June final switchover from analog to digital television begins, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the reason or urgent need to institutionalize a regular meeting of interest groups to keep track on the process. It was at a meeting with members of the broadcasting organizations of Nigeria. Anthony Forsin was there.
The minister's call for the institutionalization of routine meetings between the stakeholders is born out of the need to keep a tab on what stakeholders are doing in their various sectors, as well as build a synergy for the overall success of the digital switchover.
It's important that all the stakeholders will sit down. If we want to get there, and we want digital dividend for all of us, there must be give and take, there must be understanding.
The minister also called for a possible review of the DSO business plan, saying it will streamline operations while free TV will also be captured so that a win-win situation is put in place.
Because today it will appear that the pay-view is making money from both sides.
On his part, the chairman of BON, John Momo, was however quick to place on the table what becomes of their assets after the final switchover.
What happens to all our transmitters, since we're going to be abandoning this equipment?
He also advocated for high institutions of learning in the country to incorporate in their curriculum courses that will train technicians and engineers for the future. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The National Association of Resident Doctors of Nigeria has declared a one-week warning strike in view of what it described as failure of the federal government to implement collective bargain agreement concerning the welfare of its members and the health sector in general. National President of the association, Dr. John Oyeboise, says the one-week warning strike is a fallout of the first regular meeting of the Executive Council of the association held in Abuja. Health correspondent Rabi Abdallah reports.
They are called resident doctors due to the fact that they are on residency training in their own specialty, usually in tertiary health facilities and sometimes in general hospitals, before becoming consultants. Some of the unfulfilled demands that led to the warning strike include the agreement reached with the federal government on the release and implementation of the recommendation of the subcommittee on residency training policy.
In view of their failure to address these genuine issues, despite continued commitment to dialogue since 2013 till date, the National Association of Resident Doctors of Nigeria has declared a 7-day warning strike. Consequently, all our members nationwide are to totally withdraw their services for the said period.
The trade union, which urges its members to continue wearing black ward coats, also intends to embark on Operation Occupy National Assembly to press further its demands. In Abuja, Rabi Abdallah, NTA News.
And to other matters now, the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, is set to take the lead in showcasing research works of participants of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, for solution to some of the challenges faced on the nation. This was the outcome of the meeting between the alumni of the Institute and the management of the NTA. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Over 1,000 policy research papers have been commendably generated.
President of the group, Major General Lawrence Onoja, said the institute over the years has generated a lot of research findings that are capable of providing solutions to some of the challenges facing the country. He said the group is committed and identified with the federal government in its quest to reposition the country.
Call on the government that there are some of these are social issues, problems that we have. If they go to Kuru, they look inwards and go to Kuru, the answers are there. They don't need to go and hire people from outside. All the research papers contain answers, strategies for ensuring that we come to solutions about this problem.
The Executive Director News, Shola Atere, who received the group on behalf of the Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, said the two organizations have as their mandates ensuring a better Nigeria.
We don't have any other country. We have to put our heads together and make sure that our country continue to grow in leaps and bounds, to become the envy of other countries. So you can be rest assured that we'll continue to support you and collaborate with you.
The NIBS alumni, among other objectives, interact with the federal, state, and local governments, organizations towards ensuring a better society. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Patriotism and national consciousness dictate that every Nigerian emphasizes peace above every other national life to achieve unity, stability, and progress of the nation. This view was expressed by guests on NTA Current Affairs program, Moment for Thought.
Whether it is ethnic meetings or religious organizations, we have to make peace a major priority in what we teach. And
we have to visit the capital punishment so that nobody stays there abroad to dictate things, sending peanuts in order to buy drugs and go into killings, simply because.
Moment for Thought comes up tonight at 10:30 p.m. on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. The Catholic Church is encouraging the federal government in its fight against insecurity and increased attention to kidnap cases. This was at a briefing by Catholic Archbishop of Abuja Diocese, John Cardinal Nayekon, over worries on the disappearance of Father Gabriel Oyaka since 7th of September 2015. Lydia Bassi has that report.
With the present security challenges in the country, His Eminence John Cardinal Onayekon said the challenge of insecurity is a task for every Nigerian.
Not only Christians should be safe in Nigeria, every Nigerian should be safe. The fact that the person involved is a Reverend Father focuses our attention on the problem, concerns all of us.
The Congregation of Holy Ghost Fathers, of which the missing Father Gabriel Oyaka is a member, encouraged the media to do more of investigative journalism.
That celebration of money in Nigeria is the root of so many evils we have today in Nigeria.
Father Oyaka, who served at Holy Ghost Parish in New Lugbe area of Abuja, was kidnapped between Okene in Kogi State and Edo State border. No contact has ever been made with his captors. Lydia Bassi, NTA News.
Time now to join Ademola for update on the Lagos bomb scare. Ademola, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ronke. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The Lagos state government and the Nigerian police have allayed fears of residents on suspected explosive device which was allegedly dropped in a manhole in one of the streets in Agege area of the state. The State Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owosheni, made a disclosure after the monthly Security Council meeting chaired by the governor.
The State Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owosheni, who briefed journalists at the end of the meeting alongside service commanders of security formations and top government functionaries in the state, said security agencies responded swiftly to the development and found out that, contrary to the rumor, that the substance was just pieces of trash dropped in the manhole.
The security operatives quickly responded. The bomb disposer also went there. Those manholes were checked, and it was found out that it was just trash that were thrown into those manholes.
Besides, The commissioner recalled the arrest of some Boko Haram suspects in Lagos recently, saying that the collaborative efforts and synergy that had always existed among security agencies in the state led to the arrests. In Lagos, Nusa Usula, NTA News.
The General Officer commanding 81 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Ebenezer Oyefolu, has emphasized the need for more synergy between the Nigerian Army and the police in combating crime in the country. He stated this during his familiarization visit to the Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 2, Kayode Aderonte in Lagos. Rotimi Oluwagbemi has the details.
Major General Ebenezer Oyefolu commended efforts of the Nigerian police force that have helped to promote relative peace in Lagos State. He said Nigerian Army will always support the police in its effort to fight criminals in the state. Major General Oyefolu urged the police to be more vigilant in their operations.
So the usual things that happen in the environment and perhaps which is a very unfortunate. So as it is in the military, I think it's wise to the police to be conscious of the environment. We should have the personal security at heart as well as the barrack security too.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2, Kayode Aderonte, promised to keep Lagos and Ogun States safe and solicited for more support from the Nigerian Army. He assured the GOC of safe return of students of Turkish International School, Isheri, who were recently abducted by kidnappers.
If we're able to reduce the rate of crime in Lagos and Ogun, this axis, I think it will actually send a very positive signal to international investors. But when we are talking about foreign direct investment, it cannot come in, cannot flow in under an environment that is very insecure. That is why we have to work together.
The GOC was accompanied by principal staff officers of the Nigerian Army. In Lagos, Rotimi Oluwagbemi, NTA News.
You're still on to NTA Network News, coming to you from Lagos Network Center. We'll now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
Welcome, sir.
Hey, Auntie, well done. Rice and stew day, correct. I beg, give me one plate. No put meat or fish, just make am 200 naira only. Sister, no vex o. Nah, only 200 naira I get o.
Relax, sir. Enjoy your meal.
No worry, Oga. This one a bonus, on top bonus, just like the kind bonus when you get when you buy Etisalat.
Buy your Etisalat SIM today. Recharge 200 naira and get 1,400 naira instant. Not forget, say all your other recharges will still they give you 250% bonus.
Oh boy, show sharp. No, I will pass this one. Oh.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Hey, Coca-Cola?
You're in luck. It's happy hour. So, you want a free Coca-Cola, but you have to drink it here.
Antiseptic liquid, killing the germs that cause flu, diarrhea, typhoid, Dettol. Dettol provides 10 times more protection versus healing competition. So why take a risk on some loved ones?
Hello? Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Geoni M6, carry out everything on that list. Starting now. Gioni M6 for a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge. Gioni M6, always in power. Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Glad to know you're still watching NTA Network News, reaching you live from Abuja. We told you that Defense Minister Mansour Dan Ali has explained that deployment of Nigerian troops to Gambia is for urgent need to meet ECOWAS' decision to preserve democracy. But the Senate is not comfortable with that without legislative approval. This followed the point of order raised at Thursday's plenary. National Assembly correspondent Waziri Zeyano has details of this and other proceedings.
Raising the point of order, Senator Utazi Chukwu Enugu North quoted relevant sections of the Nigerian Constitution to buttress his objection.
A president shall not declare a state of war between the Federation and another country, except with the sanction of a resolution of the both houses of the National Assembly sitting in a joint session.
The plenary agreed that even though under Section 5, subsection 5 of the Constitution, the President can deploy members of the armed forces on limited combat duty outside Nigeria if national security is threatened, this particular action did not fall under the section in question. Also at the plenary, another PDP senator, Nelson Effiong, representing Akwa Ibom South, announced his defection to the ruling All Progressive Party, APC.
I have decided that no reasonable politician who is worth his salt will remain and allow his people to be drifting abroad, without a direction. So I have decided today, the 19th day of January 2017, to resign from the PDP and move to the party that is bringing peace and direction to this country.
Rumorsly, we heard that this action was going to take place, and we engaged the senator in various discussions, and we showed him the implications. I want it noted by this Senate that the PDP in Akwa Ibom State is already on his way to court, and we want to reclaim his mandate. We must reclaim the mandate given to us.
It will be recalled that Senator Joshua Darie, representing Plateau Central, and Senator Yele Omogunwa from Ondo South had defected from the PDP to the APC. Report of the Senate Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission on a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act generated heated debate at the Committee of the Whole.
Having crossed that and discussed the issue of automatic delegates, we felt it was better to allow the party leaders to also be automatic delegates.
Presiding officers of state assembly should be included, not the principal officers.
Now, we can still go ahead and do this certification that members of presidents, vice presidents, governors, deputy governors, both former and serving, National Assembly will be automatic delegates in all elections.
At the state level, state assembly members, National Assembly members, that is senators and House of Reps and party officials, become delegates.
The plenary became rowdy, leading to the presiding officers reverting to a closed-door session. On resumption of plenary, the report on the Electoral Act was returned to the Senate Committee on INEC for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Waziri Zeyano, NTA News.
On Business News tonight, agricultural expert advocates a value chain system for developing agriculture into agribusiness. Muplanda Kok reports on this and more.
Hello and welcome to Business News segment. As Nigeria refocuses on agriculture,
Experts in the sector advocate that Nigerians, especially youths, need to see agriculture as a business venture, not just trainers' farm work. A civil society player in agriculture says agribusiness is fundamental to Nigeria's economic development, and this potential can only be maximized through value chain approach.
You know, that agriculture begins with, you know, the production. As this person produce, then this other person, you know, is doing the processing and the packaging, and then the next person is doing the marketing, then to the consumers. Now, when you now unbundle these steps, you not just see that everybody is involved in the game. Whether you are a local farmer, whether you are a first-class product, you are involved. So that is the value chain system that we need to introduce into agriculture.
Meanwhile, the total funds under the contributory pension scheme rose to 6.02 trillion naira at the end of 2016. In an update on the assets under management, the National Pensions Commission, PENCOM, said the current fund increased from 4.6 trillion naira at the end of 2014 and 5.3 trillion naira in 2015. To round off this segment, take a look at the closing figures on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which closed on a negative note Thursday. That does it from this segment. Please stay tuned for the rest of the news. I am Moplang Dakok.
We have another pause for more messages.
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people scams. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Now to sports update with Kenema Bujike.
A 3-day parachuting seminar has ended in Abuja Thursday with participants